welcome to Excel Basics Plus. In today's session, we're actually going to be having a look at the left, mid, and right functions. Now, these functions can actually extract parts of the string or parts of the detail within your cells so that you can use your data in different ways. So for the example, we're looking at a pile of movie stars here, and they've each got an ID number. And what we want to do is we want to extract their first name, their surname, their initials, and their ID number, but just the numerical value. So the way we look at this is we say, okay, well, to get the first name, we're looking at the left side of the string of characters there. The surname, we're looking at the right side, but it's after a space. The initials are the first letter, obviously, of each name, and the ID number is the last 3 digits of the movie ID after this dash. So let's start with the first name. We're going to use the left formula for this, and it's a very, very simple formula. Equals left, open bracket. So the first thing we want to do here is have a look at, okay, where is our text? Our text that we're looking to split out is in B4. Now, we need to now tell Excel how many characters it needs to select for that first name. Now, because we've got so many different names with so many different numbers of characters in their first name, we're actually going to tell it to look for the space. And that is then I guess the delimiter, if you like, where it will stop selecting letters. So we've said, okay, go and look in cell B4. When you're in there, I want you to find, open bracket, the space. Now the space is literally the parentheses with a space and closing parentheses. Okay, so find the space, comma, within what text? Within cell B4, and we close that bracket. Then we need to tell it how many characters backwards to go. Because we're including that space, we want to say -1 and close bracket and press enter. We've now got Antonio's name. We double click all the way down and we've got all the first names in there. So that formula again. We are looking at equals left, B4, this cell, comma, find the space, so find open bracket, parentheses, space, parentheses, comma, where are we finding that space? In cell B4, close bracket. So that's the find function within the left function. And because you've gone as far as that space, you're telling it then -1 characters back is the end of the characters I want you to return, and then close bracket. So that's how we get the first name. Now the surname is slightly different because the surname is after a space and is at the right hand side of all the characters, but once again there are too many with variable numbers of characters in their surname. So what we need to have a look at, we could use the right function in exactly the same way as we used the left function and look for that space, and instead of -1 it would be add 1. So if we really quickly have a look at that, if we go equals right and we're looking in cell B4 again and we want to find, so comma, find, open bracket, we're looking for parentheses, space, parentheses, comma, where are we looking? In cell B4. Close the find function and we want to add 1, comma, sorry, close bracket. And once again, we've got Banderas. Now, the other way of doing this, I'm going to clear that one out. You can actually use the mid function. So the way to look at it is the left function functions from the left-hand side, the mid function will find anything in the middle somewhere, and the right function will count back from the right-hand side. So if we use the mid function, once again, simple, equals mid, MID, open bracket. Where are we looking? Cell B4. Now, once again, we want to find the space. And the reason we want to find the space is because we need to find the next, the second name. So the second name is after the space. So equals mid, open bracket, B4, go have a look in cell B4, comma, find the space, so find, open bracket, parentheses, space, parentheses. Where is it looking? It's looking in cell B4. We close the find formula. We add 1 because we don't want the space included. And then we have to tell it how many characters do we want to look for. Now, because we're finding the entire name, we put in the maximum characters, which is 255. So, comma, 255, and close bracket. So just to go through that again, equals mid. So we're looking in the middle of the string of characters, equals mid, open bracket, cell B4, comma, find, open bracket, look for the space, parentheses, space, parentheses, comma, where are we looking? In cell B4. We close the find formula. We want to add 1 because we don't want to have the leading space that we've just found, comma, how many characters do we want the result to be? Up to 255 because we want the entire surname. And we press enter. And straight away we've got Banderas. Double click, bring that all the way down. We've now got their first name and their surname in separate cells from the base data. Now the initials, this gets a little trickier and we're going to have a bit of fun with this one. We're actually going to use the left and the mid function to get the first letter of the first name and surname. So once again we go in equals left, so we're going to get the first letter of Antonio's name, equals left, open bracket, where are we looking? Well, we're looking in cell B4 again. How many characters do we want? Comma, 1. Now this is where it's different to where we were looking for the spaces and we were finding and things like that. This is your basic left function. Equals left, open bracket, which cell are you looking in? We're looking in B4. How many characters do you want to return? Comma, 1. We're only doing 1. I could put 3 in there. Let's close the bracket and have a look. We get Ant. We could change that to 4 or 5. 5, we get Anton. Now, because we're doing the initials, we just want 1. Now, the formula is fine like that. So equals left, B4, comma, 1, close brackets. We've closed the left formula. Now, you might recall in previous videos where we've actually used the ampersand, the and function, to include a space. Well, in this case, we're actually going to include a period, which means that we'll have letter, period, as their initials. So we're going to use the ampersand, and we're going to use our parentheses around a period. And that now means that the result so far will be a period. The next piece we do is and, because this is the next part that we're adding in of these initials. So the ampersand is literally saying, let's mash all this string together, this string of characters. The first string that we're looking at is left B4, comma 1, which is the letter A. It then says, oh, and add in the period, and add in our next piece, which is the first letter of the surname. The way we're going to find that is we're going to say mid, same formula that we use for the surname. Mid, we want B4, because that's the cell that we're looking for. And once again, comma, find, because we need to find the space to find the second name in the string. So parentheses, space, parentheses, comma, and where are we looking for the space? In cell B4. Close the find function, close that parentheses, that brackets. We add 1, and the reason we add 1, this is the starting number of where we want to result the letter from. So the first field it finds is the space. So we want to go 1 across from the space. So we add 1. And how many letters do we want it to return? Just the 1, because we're only doing initials. Whereas when we did surname, we did it out to 255 characters, the maximum number of characters. So we do comma 1 because we just want to return 1 letter. And we close that function, the mid function. Now, remember, we want to put a period at the end, so we go ampersand, parentheses, period, parentheses. And that is our formula. We press enter, and we get A dot B dot. Double click that to fill down, and you can instantly see every single one of them is returning the correct result. MB, DW, AH, MS, and so on. So that's how easy it is to bring all those formulas together, so that the left and the mid, in essence, you can bring all of this stuff together. You could even have something like an if function before this to say if cell B4 left B4 and 1, so if the first letter of cell B4 is A, as an example, don't return a result. You could have that as leave it as blank. So there's a whole pile of other functions that you can actually wrap around this as well. Now for the last piece, we're looking at the ID number. Now it's movie-001 for Antonio Banderas. And what we want to do in here is we just want to have the 001, 002, 003, 004, so on coming down. So there's a number of ways to do this, but in essence, if we look at what we just did with the surname, we can use that formula. Now, we did equals mid, because we want to go to the middle, open bracket. C4, because we're looking at the movie ID. And this time, we want to find, so comma, find, open bracket, parentheses. We want to find the dash, or the hyphen. So we put a hyphen in those parentheses. And then, comma, where are we looking for the hyphen? We're looking in cell C4. Close the find function, and we want to add 1, because of course you've only gotten, once it finds the hyphen, you want to go to the very next cell, which is why we add that 1. And how many results do you want? Well, at this point there's only 3. So we're looking for a 3-digit number. So we put in 3 and close the formula. So to recap, equals mid. So go to the middle, C4, and find the hyphen or the dash. Find that, and then go one character over and return the 3 digits after the hyphen. We press enter, and it comes up 001. Pull the formula down, and you can see it instantly has resulted the correct numbers. Now there's a much easier way of doing this, and what you'll notice is that they are all exactly the same format. So they're 3 digits at the end of the ID tag. So let's delete these cells, and let's use the right function. Equals right, open bracket. Where are you looking? You're looking in cell C4 and comma. And what you want is the 3 characters from the right heading left. So 001, 002, 003, 004. Close that formula and hit enter. Let's drag that formula down, and it's exactly the same result as we did with the long formula using the mid and find functions, except this is a lot quicker. So I hope you've enjoyed that video. It's certainly opened up some more functions for you to use with the left, the mid, the right, and the find functions. And I hope you can use this in your day-to-day. Keep practicing and look out for the next video. Thanks.